Hello and welcome to Casting Roles, a persistent D&D campaign played by a bunch of theater nerds. Thank you for joining us. If you're liking the show, please don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe. If you want to find us on social media, we're on Twitter at Casting Roles and on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at Casting Roles ILM. Our videos are uploaded on YouTube every Friday. But with no other announcements, we'll go ahead and start the show. So ticket takers, you've been spending just a few hours so far in the Profane Citadel, where you have faced off against the reanimated remains of Thoradin and his wife Sypha, gained knowledge and information about the ancient past here, traveled to the Tower of Storms, which had been claimed by Kefkan, the liege lord of the cloud giants, where you traverse through his pleasure palace, going through several challenges and interesting events in order to earn a audience with him. After a brief conversation where he revealed perhaps that he was intending to become a god, you all deactivated the rune located at the Tower of Storms, and most of you left to go on to the hatchery to face the final rune, but only discovered moments after the door closed behind you that your friend Marlowe had remained behind in the shadows, where she leapt into assault against Kefkan. A battle took place, and you brought down the clown prince of the cloud giants. And here you sit in this space after the battle ended. The library of Sypha in the room beyond, the hatchery awaiting you, and the knowledge that Ahriman is still at work doing his ritual to become a god himself. So ticket takers, in the aftermath of the fight with Kefkan, what would you like to do?
I'm dying.
You're dying?
What do you mean you're dying?
At the end of that big explosion at the end of
that's right.
I got dropped.
Kaimana did. So go ahead and because there was the explosion from the... Was it Kefkan's explode? Oh, because the chaos in the room imploded.
Yeah, death saving rolls dying.
So go ahead and make a death saving roll for me at the start here.
Oh,
Kaimana.
yeah, I only have 18 health. That's interesting. I don't remember that.
All right, how do
It was not an easy fight. You guys just managed to win.
How do I do that on D&D Beyond?
So I think... Go ahead.
Near the top of your
point.
Yeah. I have a little success failure thing, but I don't see where I roll. Oh, here we go. Okay.
Yeah, it should let you roll from there. Yeah.
I need to pull up Mother's character sheet while I'm sitting here. Because she's low on healing, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, we were hoping to take a long rest at some point, and this may be that point.
Yeah.
Literally, I think has to be.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and make your death saving roll come on it. Because you're all kind of in the aftermath of this, like breathing heavily, like got blown around by the imploding chaos in the chamber, and you haven't yet noticed that Kaimana is.
Is that just
down.
a con roll or a D20?
I'm pretty sure that it. I think
D20.
I think it's just a D20. It's
D20
a D20 and you.
Above, you're fine.
Yes. Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
But I thought that there was a button for death saving throws, but
That's
there should be
7.
So that is one failed save for Kaimana. And at this point, looking around the chamber, you all do notice that Kaimana is laying unconscious about 20 feet or so away from you.
Pull out the healing
Hang
dagger.
on. I have a failed death save. For the first time ever, I get to use my limit break.
So as able, you pull out your dagger to go rush over and heal Kaimana. Kaimana, what happens?
All right. In a 40-foot radius around Kaimana, grasses and wildflowers burst to life. All allies within the circle regain 3d8 plus 5 hit points. The grass and the wildflowers will persist for 24 hours. Anybody who starts your turn within the radius get 1d4 temporary hit points.
So go ahead and roll the 3d8.
Wait, sorry. So if we stay in the circle, we could just all get healed to full?
No,
Is
temporary
that-
hit points
Okay.
that don't stack. Yeah.
Okay. I understand.
Yeah.
3d8. Was there a plus to that?
15 hit points for
15
anybody
hit
within
points to
40 feet.
everybody. And I'll add that to Mother as well.
15 temp.
15. No. That's just 15 healing.
Oh,
Yeah.
15. You.
Yeah. But each round, you get 4 temporary hit points. But yeah.
Nice.
But those don't stack. So if you already have temporary hit points and it's more than 4, you'll want to keep the ones that you already have.
I'm still dying though. This does not apply to me.
Yeah, it doesn't apply to Kaimana, but you all watch this like burst of energy as suddenly in the cracks of the old stonework here, wildflowers and plants blossom around Kaimana, and this healing wave of energy goes out to all of you, but Kaimana is still unconscious.
All right, knife of healing. I should drag the blade across Kaimana's body, but instead of leaving, cuts, it actually heals up his wounds.
Okay, go ahead and roll that.
Abel,
So
Yeah.
funny.
if I didn't know better, Abel, I'd say this, you were taking your chance to murder him.
Quick while he's down.
I would never, not Kaimana.
Well, it just looks a little
It's
sketchy.
not healing a word. Isn't that like
It's second level cure wounds.
cure
Well,
wounds?
this is
That's- I can-
happening. Did Kefkan leave did he leave a body?
So at the end, when the chaos
Why did I say that so fucking
So
confident? I'm
weird.
sorry.
When the chaos burst went off, his body like turned to mist basically, and his clothes just crumpled on the ground.
I'm so surprised he wasn't like confetti.
Anything- yeah, right.
Okay, well,
Anything-
retconning,
Retcon,
he
it
turned
was
into confetti.
Like a clown horn went off.
Right? Well, it's like the da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Yes.
Wow, you got 16 points, Kaimana. That's the
Yeah.
highest I could have gave you.
Can I go through, kind of kick around in his clothes and see if there's anything cool in there?
Yeah, go ahead and make an
Like,
investigation
literally
check.
his- Also, do his clothes look expensive? When
Yes,
they go?
I mean incredibly expensive.
They tried to get me to take the clothes. I didn't want to take them.
I'll grab him.
You go for it. I don't want them.
When you grab the clothes, they do shrink down, so you get the impression that they might be magical.
Oh, okay. Neat. I'll pass that to Abel.
I'm sorry, I wasn't listening.
Kefkin's clothing.
His clothes are magical, so I was wondering if you could.
Identify. Oh,
you
yeah.
could look at those.
I would
What was it,
identify.
Josh? An investigation check?
Investigation check, yeah.
21.
A 21. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so you find 100 platinum, but
What?
but
What?
when
It's got
you
his stupid little face on it. Doesn't
they
it?
have this stupid face.
Yep.
So I mean, but they are made out of real platinum metal, so they are still worth a platinum.
down.
But he's put his face on them.
Oh my god!
So you have 100 clown prints platinum. You also
you know how, not to spoil Avengers fucking the last one, but when he's like, even dead I'm still the hero, even dead I'm still the clack. This man's rhetoric is.
So do we see Mar on the fantasy equivalent of TSC in a month? This limited edition number of 100
Yes.
platinum coins, never to be minted again.
Yes, 100%. You also find, so in addition to his clothing, which Abel's identifying, there is a belt, a very fancy, braided belt that has a very elegant buckle. And you also find a pendant, like a necklace that has a symbolism of different elements on it and is glowing and changing. Right now it is there's 4 elements or 4 areas of the necklace, and right now the blue area is lit up and glowing with energy. So those would be all things that Abel would want to identify.
I'm gonna give everybody there's 5 of us, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Nah? Everybody gets 20 platinum.
20 platinum to everybody.
Oh, lovely.
Oh my.
I always forget where that
Also,
is.
Abel, thank you for waking me up.
Of course, I would never let anything happen to you.
I had this horrible dream that we killed Kefka. Oh no!
Just so you know, the Krakoa looks somewhat perplexed at the platinum because he's used to dealing in clams, but on the other hand, they're made out of metal, which is incredibly valuable where he lives. So
That's true.
As I'm putting this in your hands, I go, money can be exchanged for goods and services.
metal can be exchanged for goods and services. This is amazing. Thank you. And he is verklempt.
Verklempt.
How generous.
We should probably melt these down before his sister sees us carrying coins with his face
She's
on
gonna
them.
find out regardless. I don't think that.
Do you think we could pay her with these to read our fortune?
I don't
Yeah,
know if you can murder someone's sibling and just pay them off.
Well, I mean, you don't know the
Why
people
not?
I know. I said from Noble Society, like from Interview, like, well, okay.
I feel kind of conflicted
what-
about this because on one hand, it kind of goes against our code, but also on the other hand, he was like a god of chaos, and
But he was like kind of evil. We kill like.
He was
evil
not a
people.
good person, but
He was not a good person. So
I mean, he could have been a
we all
powerful
agree on that.
ally,
thank
but
you all for helping me out with that, but that was my choice, and I don't regret that. He was
Yeah.
a terrible person.
I think
and
it was
would have been
either
a
help
great
you or
problem.
it was honestly
Probably
probably the
was either help you
last
or
thing he
watch you
expected,
die,
and
so.
he couldn't ask for better than that.
God.
It truly was the last thing. And
I
think
wasn't
the-
even thinking of it that way.
you are the chosen of Kalea, so
I think the only thing we need to consider is we are going into more dangerous situations. We need powerful allies, even if maybe I'm not saying Kefkan specifically, but it's something we should consider. But I back you on your choice.
Thank you.
what is done is done. There's no need to be angry about it.
No,
Stop
he was
living
really
in the-
he was
stop
really
living in the
annoying.
past.
and besides that,
We took another potential enemy.
Is able man.
Is evil mad at
I am-
me?
I am not mad, Marlo. I may be a bit
I don't ask
disappointed.
that. I want to do an insight check. I would never
Just
ask you.
go ahead and roll an insight.
Mars squints their eyes at you.
And I don't think Abel's being deceptive, so.
on the plus side, he had his face did
I'm
not
trying to
appear on these
multitask.
because he died. So we should be able to spin them with his sister with no problem.
I rolled a 7. It bumps to an 8, so I got a 20.
A 20. I feel like with a 20, you pick up enough that Abel is, as he says, disappointed. I'm not
anger,
mad
it's
at you.
more confusion. You know, it's like Marlo is usually so much smarter than
Yeah.
just jumping in and murdering for.
It wasn't just murder for the sake of murder.
I mean, he annoyed
I
me
don't-
as well. I understand. I just.
No. It wasn't annoyance. Like I don't. I didn't. That kind of person is only funny as long as the joke's funny. There's going to get a point where he was serious, and I didn't want to see that because it would have been too late by the time he's a god.
He would have
At
only
some point, we would have had to deal with him.
It's true. He would have. I'm sure it only been a
And it was
temporary
easier
ally.
to deal with. He was easier to deal with now. Here,
I
before
I
he
just
got
hope
any more
that.
power.
I just hope that with him gone, it means that he truly would not have been of benefit to help us deal with Aruman. This is my only concern.
I don't care if he would have been a benefit. I wouldn't have wanted his help.
Well, you know.
There would have been strings attached.
That is more than likely true, Cocoa. Or the Cocoa.
Thank you.
Yeah, the V is important.
TK.
And by the way, Ace Twizzlers.
I want one so bad. Also, I don't think we should use that portal he told us to use. I very much think that's some kind of prank.
Nah.
Cool.
Yeah, but it's even there after you murdered him like that, Marlo.
It probably is, because it probably was supposed to fuck us in some way.
It wasn't. Yeah, I guess it was murder, but I don't like it's just like. I don't like it's just saying it. Like,
hey,
I'm sorry, I didn't mean it like that.
We all murdered him
it's
together.
fine.
Why are we putting this on Mar? We all killed
At some point, we all decided to join in and make sure Mars
Wait, if we
attempts were
That makes it so
successful.
much better.
you
No,
for
I'm
that.
kidding.
Now everyone, let's go loot his
Marlo
house
is
and
the
continue.
chosen. Where she goes, I follow.
if we call it deicide, would it make you feel better?
Let's go look at his.
I don't know if Kaimana would know this.
I start looting the place.
I'm gonna roll.
I don't know if Kaimana would know this word.
Well, there's a library that I think we all
I'm gonna
want.
That's
like
a 21, John.
At 21, surprisingly,
21
Kaimana
intelligence.
knows the word deicide.
Mar, make sure you check for traps.
Yeah, whatever.
Okay, I'm not upset about anything. Why are you yelling at me?
Sorry, that was aggressive.
It's okay. I love you. You're my cousin.
Not as aggressive as
I forgot
the
y'all were
genie,
cousins.
but you know.
I like pick up Dave the turtle and I'm just gonna chill with him while everyone else does shit.
He's just floating
Oh.
there.
Her, sorry. Dave the turtle was a lady. I love
Just
her
floating
so
there,
much.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try wishing things and seeing if anything happens.
What are you going to wish for?
So it's a turtle. It doesn't understand human speech, I think.
It does not.
Okay. I think Jury's just saying a bunch of stuff and like nothing's happening.
Well, let's see.
I wish for a head of lettuce.
I just rolled a natural 20.
No, not a genie wish. Not a genie wish. Your head is gonna turn into lettuce.
God.
Oh, Dave is a good and kind genie.
I almost went there. Come on,
Dave is a turtle.
Dave's a turtle. There's nothing in the world more that Dave would probably love than lettuce to share. So
I did it for Dave. I wanted it for
just
her.
the largest head of lettuce that you've ever seen in your life just appears in your hands.
Oh, well, here you go, Dave. Good job, well done.
Dave just starts biting into
This
it.
is payment for letting Kaimana not be in the lamp.
Lord.
Cool.
Dave's the fucking best. I love Dave.
Love Dave, man.
What if I had wished something actually good? That's so funny.
Well, I mean, that was, with the natural 20.
God damn it. It's the only time it's ever going to happen.
It pierced through his intelligence.
I just
The
think we're
love
going
for
to wake
lettuce
up one
came
night
through.
and discover Little Saurus, Dave, and
Thistle.
Thistle playing cards or something.
Little Source is going to teach them. Yeah.
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 With the little green visor on. And
They don't want it because Dave's turn will take too long.
He does move slow.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was the head of lettuce. The fact that you wished for a head of lettuce. If
The
you had
fact I
said
wished for a head of
anything else,
lettuce.
like, wouldn't have worked. But the fact that, like,
That's
said
Jury.
the head of
That's Jury's
lettuce.
kind of luck, actually. That's the kind of shit that happens only to Jury. And I
Yeah.
love that for him.
That's fine.
useless luck is an amazing trait to have.
Yeah, that's true.
All right. So as Marlo moves into the library, I assume you are all moving in that direction.
Sure.
And
Absolutely. I'm
so,
like right on Marlo's heels.
yeah, Abel, you did spend some time during that conversation
Oh, yeah, I forgot.
identifying. So the necklace that he was wearing is a pendant of elemental resistance. And so you are able to, wearing the necklace, choose either cold, fire, lightning, or thunder damage, and you gain resistance to that element for 8 hours during a period of a day. The belt is a belt of endurance, and it grants the wearer at the start of each day 10 temporary hit points. And you have advantage on saving throws against exhaustion, which makes sense for a clown prince who probably partied a lot and wanted to maintain the flow of his party days. The garb, which is the kind of outlandish, gaudy clothing that Kefkan was wearing, is the robes of the chameleon. And so wearing these robes, you gain advantage on dexterity checks for stealth. It also allows you to cast disguise self at will.
Oh, Mar.
Who needs a stealth boost?
Mar will be invincible if she. Well, technically, you need a stealth boost if we're really being honest here, but.
Well, damn.
I really need that to anyone.
That's true.
I was gonna say it would just mean that Mar would never be found ever.
Also,
Well, yeah, as much as Mar
I
already
can't wear
sneaks
that
off.
fit. Truly, I can't.
So trash.
Emotionally,
Abel, yeah, you should wear
Yes,
it.
I will take the cloak.
And the cloak, because it allows you to cast disguise self, you can just cast disguise self to make it look like you, and just make it look like the clothing that you normally wear if you want to.
All right.
Yeah, Abel, finally, you can roll advantage
Yeah, that's
on
yours,
stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Hey, remember
and
that-
none of
remember
these
that
require
section
enchantment
where-
With pride.
So, yeah.
Yeah, remember that section with the giant where it was really bad? You were struggling.
I had almost forgotten. Thank you, Audrey.
Yeah,
Appreciate
just-
it.
I was just chiming in.
But I'll add that to Abel's inventory later on. And then is anybody particularly taking the pendant or the belt?
I am not. I don't need either of those.
Krakoa
Well-
can have the belt. Maybe.
Krakoa? Yeah, I was thinking Krakoa, but
What's the belt do again?
So it gives you, at the start of each day, you get 10 temporary hit points, and you have advantage on saving throws against exhaustion.
Who's more likely to get exhaustion?
I mean,
Three.
none of you really, but it'd be a really good thing for a barbarian
Yeah.
with frenzy rage, but
well, maybe we can save it for someone else that we know.
Save it to buff some allies in the blight.
Yeah.
So honestly, I mean, yeah,
Give it to Aurora. Is that her name?
that's something
Allura.
to think
Oh,
about.
Allura, yes.
Aurora, we're Disney princesses.
I know, I was like, wait a minute. It's been so long since we've seen her. I was like, what was her name?
Alora.
Or what's his name from the underwater city?
Oh, what is it? Felinor.
Yeah.
Oh, Felinor. Oh, Felinor.
Oliver can't be in this fight with us. What can he do?
No, he's
with the twinks
he
on
just
the island.
throws moss at people. Like,
We left all the twinks on the island. We
That's,
can't
that's
fight.
like he would never throw the moss.
no, it's true.
Yeah.
He would cradle it in
Yeah.
his arms like baby.
So good. It's moss.
Sorry, I've been thinking of some of the Myconid stuff in BG3, so it's like.
Oh, so
All right. But you all move into the library space. So leaving what was once this very gaudily decorated area that has since returned to its ancient look of Sypha's domain, you pass into the library. And Abel and Marlowe, immediately, probably like kids in a candy shop, you are looking at 4 stories, a circular tower structure. Each story has 5 levels of shelves and like one of those ladders that goes around that you have to, you can slide around to climb up to the higher shelves. And then, so there's 4 stories of books here, and whatever magical charms or wards are in this area have maintained the quality of most of the text in here. You can see that some of the wards have begun to fail in certain areas, and some of those books have begun the weathering process, but there are many that are still in relatively pristine condition.
How
Is there
well
anything that
greased are
shows-
these ladders?
Well, if you go to move one, like the one on the first floor seems to still be well within the warded area and is fine. But a couple of the ones on the higher levels look to be rusting a little bit.
Can I check around this area for traps?
Yeah, go ahead and make an investigation check.
Not awesome. Well, okay, that's a 15.
So with a 15, you don't find anything that you think of as a trap, but you do find on the first floor, kind of in the back section of the library, there is one area of stonework where there's no shelving. And within that stonework, there's a mirror on it. And as you're kind of investigating and looking around to see if there's any traps in the area, when you pass by the mirror, like looking dead on, it's reflecting your face. It's a little dusty. But as you move to the side, you catch just a glimpse of a sigil in the mirror. But you don't know what it is. Like there's something magical in this mirror.
Can I get a magical person to look at this?
Sure, absolutely.
Which one would you like to recruit? We can both come over there.
Both.
Okay.
Yeah.
Abel, I'll help you. All right. You have detect magic. I'll help you.
Yeah, go ahead and make an Arcana check, or if you want to just use detect magic, you can, Abel.
I'm not using a spell slot. I think I've been. Oh, we're about to rest, right?
What's your Arcana?
Like plus 11 or something.
Yeah, that's what I thought. All right, I'll help you with my knowledge.
Sure. That is a 19. So probably not going to get much better than that. And a 8. Okay. So a 19 plus 11. What do we...
So a 30.
31. 31.
So it is the rune as you're kind of...
Yeah, it's plus 11.
It's hard for you to get a full glimpse at it because you have to be looking at the mirror basically from your peripheral vision to catch the sight of the rune that's at the back. But you do notice that it is a giant rune, a Jotun rune. And as you're glancing at it, you think that the school of magic of this is conjuration magic. So you don't think that this is any kind of because most traps would be evocation, illusion, necromancy, something like that. But there's something about this mirror that is conjuration in nature.
Conjuration in nature.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that's
if
what
I touch this mirror, is it solid?
Yeah. So you touch it and it tick tick tick, just like a regular mirror.
Just make sure.
I wonder if you can ask it a question.
The
Marlo.
Kakoa goes up to it and touches it and goes, I would like a book on clams.
Okay. So as you do that, the edges of the mirror begin to glow blue. And springing from the rune at the back of the mirror, you watch first like the snout and then the sleek body of a silver construct fox appear out of the mirror. And for all of you that have been to the Monastery of the Third Eye, you remember that the libraries there had fox familiars that helped them in the library. Sypha is probably the originator of that concept or idea, as her fox familiar springs forward here and looks kind of up at Kakoa. A book on clams. Let's see. Seafaring life. Any particular kind of clam that you're interested in learning about?
Which ones are the most tasty that you can get not in the islands?
You see, like he was sitting completely like on all fours, and his butt just hits the ground, and he goes, "You've asked me a question that involves the input of somebody's opinion, and I only am aware of the true factual natures of the texts that are written within this library. Do you really expect me to make a decision for you on what would be the best tasting clam?"
Yes. because I'm sure you have cookbooks, and in there are like famous chefs who are best known for cooking things. So it can be subjective. If anywhere in any text someone has said, this is the best clam, just bring me that one. There may be several, there may be differing opinions, but anything that says that.
Okay. You watch as the fox kind of goes to the staircase that goes up to the second floor, and he like paws up on one of the bookshelves, and like this is in the non-warded area, and some of those books like crumble into dust. And he goes, "Well, I guess those clams don't matter." And he keeps moving around up to the third floor and gets over to a warded area, and he kind of scoots the ladder over, and he's climbing up the ladder, and then grabs a book with his mouth, and then jumps off of the third floor balcony, and then just lands safely on the ground in front of you and drops the book there in front of you, Kakoa.
Thank you very much. That is much appreciated.
You're more than welcome. Thank you so much. Are you friends of Sypha?
I would say so.
She has not
We've
called on me.
met. She was very nice.
Not sure how long I was in the mirror, but she hasn't called on me in quite some time. Perhaps she's finished with her studies.
That would be one way to put it.
It's been quite some time since then.
Can I sit down like on this fox's level and like very gently give it like a recap of like what has happened to this place and what happened to Sypha and where the state of things are now?
Mm-hmm. Sure. And if you've ever seen a fox have an existential crisis, he goes through all of the stages of that.
Can I see if it wants like a head pat or something? Like is it?
Can we roll animal handling to minimize
to see if the fox wants pets?
Yeah, sure. You can roll animal handling.
Roll animal handling to emotionally help this fox.
Oh, that's so good though. A 19.
A 19. I mean, he definitely seems like he would not be opposed to comfort.
Okay, then I'm gonna just kind of pat his back and just kind of be there for him.
Thank you. Thank you for telling me. I mean, my only purpose is to be the watch taker of this library, and from the looks of things, the library is not in very good shape. I have been doing a very good job.
Our goal is to leave here eventually. So if you want to come with us, then we can make sure you get to another library somewhere.
We've got a great library you could go to, actually.
There are many libraries you could go to. You could go to the library in Azalor. You could go to the one at the Monastery of the Third Eye. There's lots of places that you could go to.
I think. So the Monastery of the Third Eye, I trained some other familiars like myself to be librarians at the Monastery of the Third Eye. Their human companions didn't know how to work the books.
Well, they're still there from what we saw. Or at least their descendants, maybe. Don't know how that works. But yeah, they're probably still there.
Well, okay. Thank you. I guess if this library is that old, it's probably out of date and needs some updating anyway. But yeah, I would like to go to another library. You'd have to take my mirror with you.
Okay.
We could do that for sure. What's your name?
Several bags of holding.
Oh, I'm Silver.
Hi, Silver.
Love it. I love him already.
Hi.
You guys wanted to lie to this little fox.
I didn't lie.
We just didn't know how to break the news.
I wasn't gonna lie to the fox. I only lie to other people.
I don't lie to animals.
I don't lie to animals.
I don't lie to sweet little animals.
I have morals.
Yeah, I lie to shitty people.
That is the rule. We don't lie to animals.
Except they definitely lie
I
to
don't
the
know.
rats.
I don't know if the book was useful for you, sir. But I'm happy to help any of you if you would like to partake in Sypha's library.
We noticed that some of the wards were failing that were preserving the books.
Mm-hmm.
And I asked, do you know of a way to restore the magic or the runes that have kept these books so well preserved?
Well, I mean, Sypha laid the runes down herself, and so I would imagine you would need some understanding of the magic that she did. I have her spell book somewhere.
You have Sypha's spell book?
Yeah.
I would very much like to take a look at that if it's not too much trouble.
Okay, can you break an arcane lock?
I or my friend here may be able to.
What friend are you looking
Do you
at?
do you have Dispel Magic?
I think I do. I don't know. Wait. Sorry, I'm trying to multitask and write this thing that Josh told me to write while also.
I have knock.
Oh, you can, Knock will do it. Or Dispel Magic would do it as well, yeah.
I thought I took knock, so I have knock.
Okay. So you watch as Silver kind of gets up and like bounds over to back to that area with the stone and his mirror. And you see that there's like a metal plaque portion at the bottom that you just assumed was decorative. And he like puts his nose up against it, and you see like his nose print activates some kind of rune on this metal, and the metal lifts up, and you see there is a safe behind, but you can tell that it is locked by a powerful magical force.
Wow.
I'll cast knock on it.
Okay. So
because that was a sorcerer spell I took. I was like, why do I have knock? Oh, it's my sorcerer spell.
You reach out and you touch and release the spell. You all hear the sound of the knock kind of echoing through the chamber as
wild magic.
What level spell is knock?
That's second level.
Oh, second level.
That still gets it.
Yes, please go roll a D100 for me.
Okay, that's not gonna happen.
As the rune that was protecting this lockbox dissipates, and now you're dealing with just a traditionally locked box, so somebody will need to pick the lock.
I got a 9.
A 9.
Which is crazy.
Okay, there's 5 people in the group. Go ahead and roll a D6 for me.
No, that's totally different. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
1 second. What, a D6?
Plus,
that makes me...
There are 6 plus mother.
Oh, yeah. Go roll a D6 for me. Yep.
I got a 5.
A 5. Okay.
I don't like rolling really low on the table. It makes me scared.
Okay, so... Hold on. I have to pull up something really quick.
Oh, no. Why?
So as the knock goes off from your hand where you cast the knock spell, suddenly like 6 missiles shoot out of your hand and fly around the room and hit Kaimana.
We just brought him back.
Kaimana, you take 11 points of force damage as the magic missile spell contacts you.
Are you okay?
It's like a blasts his like silhouette into the pavement.
I'm okay.
He's just standing there with his eye twitching a little bit.
I think you're down to like 4 hit points again.
Down to 5. Yeah.
5, yeah.
You need the healing knife again.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do.
I'm gonna sit down.
Okay, yeah, you sit down. I'm sorry. I'll move over now.
Kakoa has 5 hit points left of lay on hands. He gives that to
Okay.
Kaimana.
I thought you were going to say 5 hit points left. I was like, God, thank God this didn't hit you.
Yeah.
No.
Because Magic Missile is a really dangerous spell when somebody is close to death, because auto death saves for each magic missile. Yeah.
And it will hit you. Yeah. It will hit you.
I'm gonna go sit.
I'll hand Kaimana the healing knife.
Yeah.
Here, take the healing knife, Kaimana. Just poke yourself a couple of times.
It does cure wounds at 2nd level. Come on. All right, Marlo, what are you doing?
I'll pick the lock.
Okay, go ahead and roll a lockpicking check.
Well, does it auto unlock if it's not?
So
Or it just takes the arcane?
you broke the arcane lock, and now
Okay.
there's just a traditional lock. Mhm.
Okay, cool.
I got a nat 20.
Okay, yep. So
Beautiful.
you unlock it, and the door opens, and inside you see a pristine. It's difficult to describe as a book because it's a kind of technology that, Abel, you've never really seen before. But there are like legends there's legends of ancient technology that existed that were lost during the subversion. And you think that you might be holding in your hands one of those pieces of technology.
Do I cast like identify or anything on it?
You can, yeah.
Sure, I'll identify. See
So
how much
you take a moment and you get the
learn from
identification back, and it is identified as Sypha's spellbook, but there are no pages to it. There's just it's just a heavy pad that has a blank piece of parchment on it. But when you cast identify, like the parchment almost looks like someone's writing on it with a quill, and you see the name Sypha appear in a very bold font. And then that just a moment later kind of fades out as it's written.
Ooh. I wonder if you can ask it questions. How can
That
we
count as a question?
Technically it does.
Silver's sitting next to you, and he goes, Sypha was a really big fan of creating magic that required you to have as much input as the magic had output.
You have to be quite specific with what you want.
I mean, sometimes, because some people might end up with like a head of cabbage.
Yeah, that'd be terrible. No one should ever wish for cabbage. That's
So
crazy.
hyper-specific.
Yeah, it's great. No one would ever wish for cabbage. That'd be so stupid. Stupid if someone did that. You could
I
like
like
see
the
the
sense of-
turtle off to the side,
Just
like,
still eating the
It's
cabbage.
huge.
It was lettuce. It's completely different.
Oh, sorry, I had
Yes.
a lettuce.
Sure. Yeah,
I
exactly.
will ask
Totally
him
different.
what is the process for restoring the runes or the magic that kept the books in their pristine condition.
Oh, I don't know
Or-
if that's going to be in her spell book, but
Or a spell
Why
to
did you
preserve
suggest a
them.
spell?
Well, a spell to preserve them if they were underwater, maybe? I mean,
if they're
because I'm
Um,
just saying.
he said, I don't know if that, like, because this is just a collection of her arcane magical knowledge, not any of her like finer works of magic. Let's see. And he's kind of looking around, and he like bounds over on the first floor to a shelf that is like there's locks on some of the shelves, and he puts his nose to them, and you see the locks release and the chains automatically retract. And he grabs a book off of one of the shelves and bounds back over to you. And he says, I think this one's on the construction of the arcane ward system within the city of Cirrus.
The entire city?
Well, it does
The
say that it was written
arcane
by
ward
Thoradin
structure.
and Sypha.
Thank you. And I just up to the back of the room and start thumbing my way through the book.
Hey, Silver. can
Oh,
I
yeah,
ask you,
that's my name.
Yeah, so if this city were to, fall into a big thing of water, that would probably destroy some of these books, right?
Probably the ones in the areas where the wards have come down, yes. But the rest of the room should be okay.
Okay. If there's anything important that you think would not be stored anywhere else, I think we should take those books, and we'll either take them with us in the bags of holding, or I can teleportation circle and we could just put them in Asalor.
Well, all the books on that shelf there are written by Sypha and Thoradin.
Quite important, yes.
Okay, well, I'll start putting them in the bag of holding.
Some of these are probably reprints of Persephone Mistweaver's work.
Mhm.
And
That's always
Lunaria, I
good.
think her sister
But they're
Lunaria
reprints,
wrote
we
a
can
couple
find.
books as well.
I'm
Um,
those-
Lunaria shit. You kidding me? That's
Are those
not
also
useful to me,
reprints?
but I'm reading it.
The Mistweaver section is on the second floor. You can feel free to peruse it yourself, or I'm happy to help as well.
I would like to go up there to the Mistweaver
Sure.
section.
And then go ahead and make just a general investigation check, Marlo. He's kind of looking around and he says, I think mostly the books on the first floor are the ones that are the most unique and original to this library and probably wouldn't be located anywhere else.
Okay. I'm going to start going through those books and just bag of holding them to make sure they...
Sure.
I'm
There
going
are
to-
probably more books than will fit in your bag of holding.
Sure. I think we have 2 or 3, but still.
I
So
think
I have one.
You
Okay.
have
So I'm
one
gonna have a
completely
nice-
empty bag of holding
Oh.
that I think no
So
one's
Josh,
using.
I will fill one bag of holding. And when that's too much, I'll gather all the books I want and then I'll teleportation circle
Oh,
them
God.
to Azalor
Okay,
with
so-
a note that says, please put these in a good place.
It's 500 pounds. You can send them to Noavia either as well.
Yeah, sure.
500
Maybe
pounds
Edward's in the way, I
of
think.
books.
Okay.
Let's see. Weight of an ancient tome.
Things you never
gosh.
thought you'd have to Google
Yeah,
for your players or
alright.
D&D.
Only on
players.
D&D.
I assume that jury has field commissioned Kakoa to help her
Yeah.
help
Help with anything.
them rather
Yeah.
with this because
Yeah, you help me stack them.
Yep. How can Anansi carry a...
Have you ever
I'll take one.
Google searched something and then realized that you might be the only person who's ever Google
Who's ever
searched
searched
this?
that? Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, what would they be like 5 pounds for like a big one?
I feel so. The
How
one of
much
the
could a book
larger.
weigh?
I'm looking at like
$10?
illuminated manuscripts.
Mm.
Weight of a Gutenberg Bible.
Okay, so the heaviest illuminated manuscript of all time weighed 150 pounds. So we're gonna go on the light end and say that you can probably rescue 100 of the books here on the first floor, and there's probably 600 books. So you can, like, if you have an empty bag of holding, you can rescue 100 of the books.
Okay, I think I do have one empty one that I bought.
Okay,
Which was like,
so you can get the entire
Oh.
shelf that was Sypha and Thoradin, but there are 6 shelves on the bottom floor.
So I want to see currently in my bag of holding, where's my capacity?
imagine when my city only has these books. The library at our new city's gonna be so good. I'm gonna make my fucking city.
have
Building my own city because I can't
15
find one that's
pounds in there right now?
Be
Okay.
your own city.
big enough. Be
So,
your own
You-
Contents. Oh,
It'll be called Jury's Den.
Well, no,
Actually-
it's fucking. It already has a name.
That's how much the bag of holding itself weighs.
and I have 172 pounds of.
Okay, so you could
Contents in the
rescue about whatever 300 divided by 5. You could rescue about 60 books off of that shelf,
Okay, 60 ancient cone books.
off
I
of the
want to
next shelf
send-
over. Yeah.
Okay, Silver, can I ask this? Our current plan to stop our romance advancing plan.
Did Marlo
Is-
talk about Ahriman to Silver, or just Sypha?
I would have told him like who's running this
Sure. Okay.
this city now and why we're here. So
Because
yeah, absolutely.
otherwise, Silver's standard is to just look at you like he understands what you're talking about, but doesn't. He wouldn't have really understood, but
No.
he knows this. Yeah. Okay.
Me.
Yep. So our current plan to stop Ahriman is to disable the arcane sigils in these 3 key points across the Cloud City. We understand doing that will also cause the Cloud City to fall from the sky. Is there anything here that can help us succeed in our plan to stop the sigils from powering Ahriman's spell, but also save the city itself from plummeting into the waters below?
Great question.
I'm not sure. Based on, you might have to peruse some of Sypha's texts to do that. I can tell you just from my inherent connection to the runic network within the city that we've already begun a descent of approximately 10 feet per hour.
Is the city designed to float on top of the water, or will it automatically sink when it reaches the water's surface?
I mean, I've been in my mirror for the last 250 years, but do rocks now float?
It is definitely gonna sink.
You are a
Actually,
clever little
volcanic
fox,
rock
Sypha.
does float.
This is not. This is mostly made of granite.
Then we're screwed.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm getting very, very big Janet energy right now.
Bing.
And I love it. I love it. I love him so much. Okay, well,
If I ever had a
Hopefully-
familiar, it would be Silver. So.
it would be Janet. Okay, so Sypha's text. Hopefully understanding the nature of the arcane magic will help us come up with a solution to that.
I will say that I do believe that there's a failsafe built into the system that if the runes were disanimated, that they would not. We would not just like plummet out of this sky. There would be a slow release of magical energy to allow the city a slow fall to wherever its destination would be, so that if there were any unlucky denizens at the base of the city, that they could move out of the way as the giant shadow approached the ground.
Which is good to know.
But I think according to what you've said, we're over water, so people should be safe.
Mhm.
The city itself would be lost. And that is something that I am not willing to accept, honestly.
You could restore the runes within this chamber, and this chamber would be safe. But is there anything else that you're interested in saving?
The entire city, honestly.
Oh, well, that may be out of the realm of possibility.
Do you have any books about Fae stuff? Fae politics?
He kind of looks up. Sypha kept that stuff as far away from her as possible, so it's probably on the 3rd floor.
Okay, cool. All right, Abel, I leave it up to you. I rescues me books fit in my bag.
Okay. I appreciate your help, Judy.
I also love book, so
Hey, I love book.
I love book. Fantastic. Silver, we're gonna get along. I'm gonna go read some Fae books.
Everyone
Okay.
loves
Go ahead
silver.
and make an investigation check, Terry, as well.
Okay.
All right.
Find a Fae.
Abel, as you're looking through the books on the bottom floor to make decisions about what you want to save, go ahead and make an investigation check. And we'll go to Marlo. So Marlo, as you're looking at the Mistweaver section, what was your investigation?
I got a 15.
A 15. So what you discover here is interesting because you've read some of the final texts that Persephone Mistweaver wrote about her travels. What you discover here are reprints of the first folios of all of her travel journals. And there's one on every single one of the free cities. There's several books about continents that you recognize the name of only from history books because they existed before the subversion, ones that are outside of the Alyrian continent.
Jeez.
You also see several travel books on the different planes of existence.
Sick. Okay. I'd like to pick up all her travel journals. Yeah, I guess at least the planes of existence on the Feywild for jury and the bad place.
The Shadowfell.
The-
Okay. Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Would also probably be of interest to Marlo is the planes of existence of the elemental planes, just because they have such a
that
very
one too.
close tie and connection to the primals.
Yes, please. And am I able to like skim a book?
Yeah,
right
sure.
now?
I'll also tell you the other thing that you discover is Lunaria Mistweaver's section of this library is on it's a series of books called The Theoretical Foundations of Magic, which was like her PhD dissertation, but it's literally 12. It's 12 books.
That.
It's 12 books.
I will give this to Abel.
Okay.
And can I skim her book, Persephone's book on this free city,
Mhm.
and see if there's any information on it that we don't know already. Like, hey, here's this really cool, I don't know, like secret tunnel or like something.
Yeah. So what you discover scanning the book about the city of Cirrus, beyond anything else, is because it was a military in construction, her tour of the city was not so free. Like there was very much like there were people with her as she was traveling around. But the thing that catches your eye that is the most interesting is that she mentions an area of the city called the Undercroft, which you all had questions about as you were looking at the map that was drawn by Yara. And she describes the Undercroft as a series of tunnels that were built for the easy movement of subgiant troops throughout the city in the event of an attack. And so she doesn't have a complete map of it because they only let her see part of it, but you can tell that there are entrances throughout the city to the Undercroft. It's designed like a maze-like structure, but if you make your way through the Undercroft, you can get to any other part of the city without traveling on the surface.
Does she have specific notations of entrances?
So the entrance that they let her go into was the entrance at Thoradin's Hold. And they showed her one of the exits. And based on the information that she's providing here in her description, that it is somewhere between Thoradin's Hold and the Temple of the Nine, which you know is now called the Hatchery. So it wasn't at the hatchery, but it was closer to the hatchery. Mm-hmm.
Closer to. Awesome. Mm-hmm. Cool.
But you can assume based on her description that there's probably an entrance near Sypha's tower as well, and through other major areas throughout the city. Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Anything else that you wanted to peruse in any of the texts?
I mean, yeah, but like not maybe at this moment.
Sure.
I feel like that would be the big one.
You can at any moment you can ask when you're doing, getting ready for sleep if you want to read more.
Fuck around and look for anything on the Shadowfell.
So you can look if you want to look at Persephone's book on the Shadowfell, or do you want to look at the rest of the books in the library?
The rest of the books.
Okay, so you kind of call Silver over, and Silver kind of bounds over to the second floor where you are, but off to the opposite side. And he grabs like 2 books off of the shelf and puts them on you. He's like, I think these are the ones that probably mention the Shadowfell the most. That one's kind of scary, but the other one is just kind of just a general information about the Shadowfell.
Cool. Thank you. I give him a little head pat.
Yeah. The title of one of the books is The Construction and Building of the Nightmare Kingdom of Calaga and Vidia.
Cool.
And the other one is just a general primer on, it's just literally called The Shadowfell, and it's just a general primer on the Shadowfell. Yeah, it's like a kid's book. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Can I scroll through scary book, please?
Yeah, you spend some time going through the Calaga and Vidia book, and what you discover is that there was a group of children of the Empyreans and children of the Anakim. So the Anakim are the immortal giants, all of which are dead now except for Lady Mesmira, and the Empyreans, the immortal dragons. Their children were sent on a secret mission into the Shadowfell with the intention of putting an end to the war before it spread. And they discovered that at the very point in the Shadowfell where the city of Alyria exists, that there was an upside down reconstruction of Alyria in the Shadowfell being built. And it was Calaga. What they discovered kind of infiltrating the space is that this was the construction of the city of Calaga and Vidia, which was going to be the seat of Caiaphas's new realm. What they learned was that Caiaphas themselves were in the city empowering the Veil. It was upon return from Calaga and Vidia about 7 or 8 months later that the first tear was made known on the opposite side of the planet, and the Veil began to pour out of the planet and follow the planet. So you can, based on with Marlowe's intelligence, you can get the sense that that space is probably the source of the power of the Veil, that the city of Calaga Nvidia.
So,
Mm-hmm.
Oh god, does Persephone's text on the Shadowfell follow up with any of that?
Yeah, so Persephone, you kind of going back and looking at Persephone's book, Persephone traveled to the Shadowfell much earlier. So she did not travel there after the subversion. She only traveled there before. Right. And she talks about the Shadowfell. I mean, it's a dark and gloomy place. But at that point in time, the full madness of Caiaphas hadn't been made realized. And it was mostly a quiet place of refuge for spirits and the dead. And she mentions an entire group of Barrowmoors who traveled back and forth between the Shadowfell and the Primaterial Plane to help shepherd the dead. She mentions a group of elves who had traveled to the Shadowfell in worship of Caiaphas, named the Shader Kai, and who had set up kind of way stations so that people could travel to the Shadowfell to, if they wanted to reconnect with past loved ones who had not gone on to one of the outer planes, but had remained close to the material plane in their passing. And that it was this kind of peaceful, dark, quiet place of reflection. It bears no resemblance at all to the Shadowfell as described in the later text.
Okay. How far is Anervir from the Blight?
So the Blight is the southern tip of what is remains of Alyria. So you're looking at approximately 200 miles.
Okay.
Like here to Raleigh.
Okay.
Out of curiosity,
Raleigh is my nightmare city. So
you're welcome. Congratulations. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Out of curiosity, how far is it from Anervir to the other side of where the Blight is? Basically, is Anervir dead center of the circle of towers?
Yes. So what remains of the what remains outside of the Veil, Anervir is the dead center of all of the 9 towers. Mm-hmm.
Can I do like an intelligence check or something?
Sure. What are you looking for?
Am I to assume, or can I make a guess that if is it Calaga Nvidia? Is that
Calaga Nvidia? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Calaga Nvidia is, if that was like the power source of the Veil, does that have to be like taken down in order to like stop the incursion of the Veil?
Yeah, make an intelligence check. I will say a 15 will give you some information, a 20 will give you good information, and a 25 will give you all of the information I have.
I can't get a 25, Josh.
If you ask Abel to help
smart.
you, he can aid you in this if you'd like.
Oh, Abel, smart boy, Abel.
Shadowheart cast guidance.
Shadowheart cast guidance. Abel and
yes. Did you call
smart
me?
man, smart Abel, please. Can you make an intelligence check for me?
So Marlowe
sure.
expunges some of this information, and then we'll see if Abel can put that together.
Okay.
Because I think he might be the only person who can get a 25.
Straight intelligence?
Yes.
Okay.
You get advantage because I'm helping you.
Okay, well, cool.
You do get advantage, yeah. Abel has like a plus 11 to intelligence or plus some plus. No, what is it? It's plus. Oh no, it's just intelligence, so it's plus
history?
6. Yeah.
Just intelligence.
You're putting together
All right,
pieces.
cool.
It's just intelligence. Yeah.
All right, gotcha. So that is a 19
plus 6. Or did you roll it like that's your?
It's a 19. No, it's a 19 plus 6.
Oh, okay, so that's a 25.
Oh my god.
Okay. So
We did it!
yeah.
Yes.
So based on the information that
What
you
was
have,
I forgot what the question was.
yeah, based on the information that you have, Marlo thinks, and with Abel's help, that there are 2 potentials here. One, you could travel to the Shadowfell and go to Calaga Nvidia, find whatever's powering the Veil, and dispower it. The part that Abel points out to you that makes perhaps the most sense is that the giants and the Anakim, or the giants and the Empyreans, seemed to be focusing on the fact that Caiaphas had made that space his home. And just in the same way that Anarvir is the center of the protective area of Alyria, because the only god that remains in the prime material plane is Bellinor, who is at the center of Alyria in the Temple of the Nine. So you think that it was Caiaphas himself that was empowering the Veil. Caiaphas is no longer in the Shadowfell. Caiaphas is now resting a mile under the earth underneath the city of Anarvir. So
What is Aurena?
yeah. So there's a couple things that probably strike Marlo and Abel when you're looking at this. One, if you want to put an end to the Veil, perhaps it's going to Calaga Nvidia, disrupting the magic there. Caiaphas is the source of the Veil. It could be dealing with Caiaphas in some way. But the nagging horror in the back of your head is, if we can disrupt the Veil by doing this, the Shadowfell is a reflection of the prime material plane, then our enemies can do the same thing to Bellinor and disrupt this.
Disrupt the material plane.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not good.
Holy shit.
Jesus.
Because if you think about the reflection, if you were able to do the reflection work, you would have Anarvir on the positive plane and Calaga Nvidia directly beneath it. One creating this protective barrier that is keeping the Veil at bay, the other empowering the Veil to supersede. If something disrupts the balance of that current pendulum, it's going to swing in one direction or the other.
And just destroy the Veil.
Yeah, or destroy what's left of Alyria. Light reading.
Thanks, Josh.
Light reading.
That's a happy note.
I don't think I'll be sleeping tonight after. So
Sorry.
Silver kind of pops up. Oh, sorry. You're going to say what?
You did say it was scary. You were right. Yeah.
So knowing this, what is our plan, Marlo?
I don't fucking know. I gotta process this one.
We defeated a dragon that wants to become a god, but then we have this
I mean, I
problem
don't.
that's just as big.
Who is Bellinor?
I don't actually, hold on. I didn't name all of the gods in Kakoa's language. I only named Suvanar, but I'm sure.
Basically, you translate and that he's a dragon.
No, this is a god. Bellinor
Yeah,
in.
he's the sleeping god.
He's the god of light and the sun.
Yeah.
So the Kakoa, you would know Bellinor as Mama.
Makes sense.
And I've said he, him. The gods use all pronouns, so because they are not like Olympian gods, so they're whatever you would like to call them.
There's no hope for any of us.
Yeah, there's no gender construct with the gods.
Hey, man.
Yeah.
Well, it's like Kaye. Suvanar for in Kakoa's world is female because it's a matriarchal society. So It's tactically, I would think that we would want to get as many people that we have to protect him, her, them, unprim, and then whoever, create a strike force to go to the other side to try and take down the opposite battery. So make sure they can't do that to you. You go there.
According to this, we cannot just destroy the source of the veil. We have to be clever about this and find a way to restore balance between the two.
Josh, can I make another connection check?
Sure.
Can the veil ever be healed if Caiaphas is still alive and still mad?
Sure, go ahead and make a religion check.
Can I get able help?
Yep.
Sure. We're just discussing religion,
That is a natural 20.
What?
Wow.
Ooh.
Yeah. So there is a world where you somehow calm the addled mind of an entity that you cannot comprehend. And in that, which you've seen elements of that happening with the shard of Caiaphas that Kaimana has interacted with. But that is a shard of a much larger entity. So there is a world where that's possible, and you somehow reach the prison of Caiaphas, tame his mind, return them to the seat of their power, in Caliga Nvidia, and they undo the work that they've done that has created this disimbalance. The other option would be to somehow create a counterbalance on the other side of finding a way to end Caiaphas, which would empower the light because there would be no dark challenging it. With that in mind, and the question that Kakoa asked you, the only thing that you do understand beyond any reasonable shadow of a doubt is that the forces on the outside of the veil overpower and overnumber the forces in the prime material plane on the magnitude of millions.
Okay, I'm gonna
because you're dealing with all of the devils and all of the fiends.
Yeah,
and,
what's the floor situation here? Is it just like tile?
It is. Yeah, it's like stonework tile. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm on that. I'm fully on that right now.
Yep.
Just staring up at the ceiling and nothing. I gotta. I relay what I have learned to the room, what I've put together here. So what do we do?
Do we know? I'm sorry. I guess Meta. Do we know about the influence that Kaimana has had on the?
Yeah, is that true? Has Kaimana shared any of that?
He is not.
I not in like a whole conversation, but I feel like in talking with everybody over the course of this adventure.
Yeah, I think specifically you've talked to Mar about it.
You told us
that you talked to Caiaphas.
Yes.
You did
said
say
like
that.
Yeah.
Before, because we had to tell you that you can't run around saying that.
Right.
I remember that conversation.
We had to add it to the list.
I'm gonna say that Jerry showed up to this with all the. I rolled an 18, so I'm sure I found the Fae books.
This conversation is.
Sorry, yeah, we're definitely coming. We're coming to your Fae book stuff.
The Fae books. I don't really.
You rolled an
read
18.
them.
Okay.
This is just for Jerry's future quest.
Yeah, with an 18, you found a very specific book, which is the Handmaidens of Titania, and there is an entire chapter on a one Lady Mysteria.
Beautiful. That's more tea than I even wanted. Great.
Mm-hmm.
I take that and whatever else I can find, and I come downstairs and I'm like, what are we talking about? And then you tell me and I'm like, oh God. Oh, Ayla's so
nothing is real.
I'm staring at the ceiling.
I lay down with you, and I'm
Chasing
like,
Cars is playing.
I've got the little
Chasing
gremlin.
Cars.
Mar, I
Chasing
hand
Cars
you,
is
I
playing.
hand you the gremlin thing. Here you go, take this.
I see
No.
one other
I don't want
possibility,
this.
It's really cute. Look, it's great.
but it's
No.
a bad one. But it might be an
What
option.
do you have in mind?
No, go
Krakoa?
ahead.
Well, Aruman is trying to become a god. We
okay,
don't
go ahead.
like him. But if someone else were to become a god, that could then god on god have a discussion with Caiaphas and talk him down and heal him, because they would be mentally able to be on the same level.
I don't disagree with.
No, I mean,
That's
that's what
logic.
everybody's been telling us, right? I mean, that's not to be like, Kefkan was right. He did pretty much say,
Kefkan
like,
was right.
what do you... Don't say that.
But
I mean, he
we
said, if there's not... If you get rid of Ahriman, then what are you doing about the Veil? Because we kind of do need a god, and the only god we've got is taking a fucking nap. So
but
And has gone mad.
so to go against what you're saying, the only way we know how to bring about a god is through a very terrible sacrifice.
Yes,
But where are we just gonna find a guy?
precisely. I think you have to
We would-
make them nowadays.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Sure.
Kamana.
Can't.
But from what you've said of your friend,
pull out.
What?
Sorry, I just realized I was listening to this whole conversation as Silver.
Oh yeah, you were in character. It
I
was
was-
great. Silver's like, what the fuck? What do you mean you don't make a god?
I thought my
What?
situation was fucked before. Now it's truly.
Oh man, Josh, I'm gonna ask a question that I don't think Mar is capable of, but I really want to try it.
Sure.
I have the OG, not the OG, but the revised, like, new edition, best version notes on how to become a god 101, right?
Yeah.
And that ritual has a name that I'm not going to pull right now.
You have the
Can
text
I-
on the perfect formulation of the divine rebus, which is the key component
Thank
of
you.
becoming
Divine
a god.
Rebus
Yeah.
is
Divine
the
Rebus.
word
Yeah.
I wanted. Thank
Yep,
you. Can I look at this and see if there's any way to modify this to not be incredibly, like, fucking, like
Horrible.
yeah, like, is there any way to modify this so that it's not, like, unwilling, like, sacrificial stuff? Like, is there any way to, like, I don't know. Do you know what I'm asking? And I
Yeah,
think
like,
it's out of the
find
realm of,
those
like, Mar's
energies.
capability.
Yeah.
and Mar, you would know, based on your conversations with Saurus, that if this
That
was the
Source would
only
want
way,
this.
Source, we
I
would
know,
no,
I
not
know.
allowed to, Source.
yeah, I know, but if this was the only way to save the world, he would be okay
I
with
know.
it.
I know, but I will
We
not
wouldn't
volunteer
be
that to the
okay.
room because I'll just get yelled at by everybody else.
No, that's not.
Go ahead and make just a straight intelligence check for me.
I'm not capable of
So
this at
basically,
all.
like,
I'm just
is there a
imagining
way
Mar
to
and
replace
Saurus.
those energies?
Jury, roll a d20 for me, please. This is a pure luck
Okay.
check.
All right, look, check.
Wow.
Here we go.
Feeling lucky.
I rolled a 7.
Okay.
I'm just imagining Mar and Saurus like fighting each other to throw themselves into the god machine, like Natasha
No,
and
no,
and Clayton
Oh
and
my
the
gosh.
the Avengers movie.
Oh my god. Ooh, a 22, which is about as good as I can get.
Mhm. So you don't think, as you're looking through it and you're studying it, that you know enough about anything to change the order and magnitude of this ritual. Abel, as an artificer, you ask him to look at it, it's outside his realm of understanding, because these things were constructed by incredibly high level mages who are messing with reality bending 9th level spell work. And even though Jury is approaching that,
I do know a really good mage.
so you may get somebody like Lenaria to look at it and see. But the part about it that sticks with you is not the intelligence of trying to remove this. It's the insight that Marlowe has into the people who created it, who don't see the value of the lives that they were spending to create this. They created the cheapest system possible.
Yeah.
Which requires the sacrifice of these divine entities, or the something from a positive outer plane, something from a negative outer plane, to create the rebus. These are people who didn't see a problem with sacrificing a Lightbringer, even though that puts the entire tower system at potential danger. Like,
you know the name of the Lightbringer?
The Lightbringer that was killed in is in Mother?
Yeah.
No, Mother doesn't know their name.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, you're good. So you could get Lenaria to look at it and see if she could pull pieces of it to make something that would be a more complex spell work.
Right.
But at the current level that it is, you understand, maybe not the magic, but you understand people. And these people are like the Amazon of spellcraft. They are creating a product at the cheapest possible level. This is the become a god quick, not become a god well.
Ooh. If Marlowe is sharing,
Yeah. Oh
Can
God, group effort here, please. Yeah.
Abel will probably, not that high level of a mage, and with my magical know-how, sort of petering out around 5th level if we're given spells levels. But the only thing that I could think would, knowing the nature of Zephyr Sight and what it is Zephyr Sight being a power source in very large quantities, in like very charged state, trying to replace some of what, stealing the soul of a divine and a fiendish, living being would create.
And the Cocoa wouldn't know this, but not to metagame, but I think it would have occurred to someone, is that your father and your mother managed to recreate something that had not been done except by gods.
Yes, the raising of a city to the sky, that was done by Suvanar.
Yep, so the fact that your father and mother figured out a way to do that and used that, I mean...
Okay, wait. I'm just spitballing here. So if we were at Nuavia, like on using the mountain of Zephyr Sight, right? That is like the best magic power source that we know of.
That would be the most powerful, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
There's probably more somewhere around the planet, so.
On the bottom of the ocean.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. But the cavern that we were in, that was like...
So
Zephyr Sight.
Every single dragon resting place was a cavern of Zephyr Sight.
We
could find
just
those.
From my knowledge, which one would be, like, do we know, or Abel would probably know better, like, which one would, skipping that, if we used one of those, like, if we took the pieces of the ritual, right, like the people in the ritual, could you still do the ritual without killing anybody?
Based off of...
Is there, like, potential?
Based off of the ritual as it's written, there would need to be some kind of sacrifice. Abel and you conjecture, you think you could probably, with the part of the ritual that you think that Ahriman was trying to circumvent with the capture of Nuevia was the murder of 5 dragons. Like that divine blood sacrifice. But you think that it would still require a divine rebus based on the way that the spell is currently crafted.
Okay. Is there a way to tweak the spell that the divine rebus could become the god?
Make one final Hail Mary intelligence check.
But I'm bad at this. Can Abel make
it? Would be a Hail Mary for Abel too. Meaning this is like like the level of intelligence that you're working with.
Nat 20.
Yeah, because you guys are dealing with a level 5 knowledge when it requires a level 9 knowledge.
Are you calling Abel stupid?
No, but you work with lower level magic at a more practical sense, not the theoretical magical sense.
Wait. I'll roll for it, I guess. I mean, if this is like a roll.
Hey,
one of you can roll. Yeah.
Can I roll with advantage though, because of Abel help?
Sure.
Okay. Does anyone else have like a little third time thing they want to get?
Tapped on everything.
You're good.
I can give you Flash of Genius.
Tapped for sure.
Tapped on everything. Otherwise, I would have been giving them out.
Flash of Genius to this?
No, this is just a straight roll.
Okay.
Is it any? Okay. Is it like an intelligence check?
That's homophobic, but okay.
By the way, Jace, that was a great leap of logic.
Yeah.
That's great.
I'm trying my best here, gang.
No Flash here, DM?
No.
No
You're
Flash.
not going to believe me.
What kind of Flash?
You're not going to believe me.
I love flashing.
You're not
I love
gonna believe
flashing.
me.
No way.
What happened?
No way. No way.
Did you do it?
No way. Jace, no way.
I
believe you because I
did you Allie Beardsley this? I would cry.
Am I being Allie Beardsley'd in my own game?
If you Allie Beardsley this, I'm gonna lose my
That's what she
mind
said
right now. In the pleasure
palace.
In the remains of the pleasure palace.
That was the last one. That one was
even worse,
right.
Robert.
Did you
No, the pleasure palace faded away.
Pleasure palace.
We're just creating our own form of chaos here.
Yes, Marlo. Yes.
I can't take a picture without all of you seeing how
Just crop it. Just crop it.
I spilled chips in my desk. It's in my dice tray.
No one's upset. No one's upset. The chips made it happen.
The chips just add ambiance to.
Exactly.
No one is judging.
The chips
we have all been there.
Not me personally, but I'm not judging.
You know what's the cutest thing about this?
God damn.
Green dice is the first
Insane.
dice set I ever
I feel like I have that
Insane.
dice set.
Insane.
Yeah, because it's super cheap.
Yeah.
It was the first game I ever played. None of us had dice. None of us had ever played before except the DM. So he got us all dice sets.
I feel like I have
whatever
that
he could get from like
somewhere.
Whatever was the cheapest shit he could get, because he was getting it for like 5 people. Like obviously he was not gonna spend all the big bucks on us, but like that is my first ever set.
Okay.
And it has always been my best rolling set.
No,
Oh my God,
Jay didn't buy
did
us dice.
I don't remember.
All right. So Allie Beardsley. So honoring an at 20. So the two most intelligent.
I'm gonna be in shock about this for the next hour and a half.
The two most intelligent members of the party putting their heads together. I will say that we are getting to the point now where you guys have been awake long enough that we're approaching perhaps getting into levels of exhaustion. And so just to
with the brain blast.
Yes, just to keep this in mind.
Yeah.
But
y'all are punchy is what you're saying.
Yeah. But is there a way to do the ritual as written and somehow make a battery into the device that you are trying to create?
A battery into the device.
Yeah, you are asking, can I take the batteries and make them the remote? Abel thinks
Yeah, actually, there's ways to do that.
That it's possible to do that it is something that could be accomplished. Does Abel have the time, energy, and intelligence to do it? Maybe. With the help of Lenario Mistweaver, his father, his mother, many people working together, yes. Potentially you could do that. You do not know the consequences of taking a creature that is the amalgamation of two divine sources and giving it godlike powers. Will they maintain their soul? Will those divine energies within them subsume their character and they become something greater, or more dangerous, because they do have both fiendish and good energies combined within them? You don't know what the consequences are. But Abel, with your input, believes that it is possible.
I believe with my whole heart that someone could accomplish this. Oh, Lord.
Kaimana is asleep.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
let him sleep. He looks so peaceful.
The wolf,
like
and
2
also
hit points.
because I'm honoring a nat 20, the wolf drops a
Yeah.
book at your feet.
But
the wolf.
Mm-hmm. It is a journal.
Oh, the wolf?
Mm-hmm. Or sorry, the fox. The fox drops the wolf at your feet. It is a journal. It is one of the books of Sypha that didn't get picked up because it was on a desk somewhere. It wasn't on the shelf. And you can tell that this is not a print. This is Sypha was handwriting in this text. Before the Noavian or the Asalans showed up in this city, Sypha had it in her mind that there was a way to remove Caiaphas from the playing board. And it wasn't her becoming a god. It wasn't anybody else becoming a god. It was allowing Caiaphas to accomplish the goal that Caiaphas had set out. And at that moment, striking when they were at their weakest.
Mm.
And you understand that the goal of Caiaphas is to subsume Bellinor.
So 2 gods for the price of 1.
That it would be possible to kill the god when Caiaphas was subsuming Bellinor. That would be Caiaphas at their weakest. That is honoring the nat 20. It is possible for somebody to become a god. It will take work and time and energy and the input of other people. And you could probably work it so that you use the rebus not as the source of the power, but as the power itself. The other option, honoring the nat 20, is you can take out Caiaphas at the moment that Caiaphas reconnects with Bellinor.
Just leave Bellinor.
And then you don't have, but you would have then no gods, because that would
All gods dead.
would erase the divine influence on the planet.
Okay.
Okay.
We have a few
Are we-
things to think about here.
Are we posting out here for the night? This is
Yes.
what we're doing here?
After
I like-
that conversation, yes.
Okay,
I like
I'm
the
gonna
idea of
pass
us
Do you guys-
out
Is also
immediately.
Wait,
asleep
wait.
at this
I
point.
will say, do we all want to? Do you guys want to go in the genie lamp? We
You
can go
want
in
to
the
genie
lamp.
It's
lamp?
probably more comfortable
Or
in
we
there.
can-
Yeah.
Right? I mean, it's probably
It's cool as shit.
Yeah.
And
Well,
Abel's
I do
got
have
it.
this. I do have this new gem with a magnificent mansion spell that I've
Have
been
you
working
decorated
on.
yet?
I've been working on typing up while we were doing this. So yes, it's a little
Yeah.
decoration.
If you've decorated, we
Okay.
can do that. Also, I think the genie lamp might smell like vegetables at the moment, so we can go to the.
Oh,
You don't know
magnificent
where
mansion.
they're coming from, but there just seems to be a never-ending supply of lettuce just appearing.
Oh my god!
Oh,
the nat
goodness.
20 lettuce spell.
Hey, and it's better lettuce than cabbage. Just
Yeah, that's
oh,
true.
well, yeah, that's true. Cabbage smells like farts.
He's
Yeah.
able to summon them faster than he's able to eat them.
Yeah.
That's as far as
His digestion doesn't work as fast as his genie powers.
No.
Someone's gonna have to pick Kaimana up and carry him into the lamp. He's
Well, we're gonna go in the
No.
mansion, baby. I got you. Don't worry. I've been holding you.
Yeah.
Yeah, while you two were brain
So-
bonding, I was like holding Kaimana because I hit him.
Just stroking his little head.
Yeah, I hit him with a
Um,
spell. I feel bad.
Ah,
you get scared every once in a while. Make sure he's breathing. Like
oh no.
It's like you when you're asleep.
Deep cut.
deep cut.
He sleeps like a vampire, so not my fault.
I sleep like someone whose husband has died of the plague in an early Victorian novel. Like,
It's
Oh
true.
wow.
All right.
Just the vapors. Okay.
So you going into the mansion?
Okay, yeah. So I'll pull out the bead that contains the spell for Magnificent Mansion. And I don't know, like I will gently place it on the floor in like one of the corners of the library, and then the shimmering portal will appear for anyone who wants to step through and enter into our lodgings for the night.
I'll ask Silver if he wants me to bring the mirror, if he wants to chill here.
Are you all going inside?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah.
You know, like I've kind of really enjoyed there being voices and people, so I think I would like to come in with you.
All right, Mara, let's
Can
haul this
I-
mirror.
More than welcome
Okay.
to join us.
Oh, I
Can I-
sorry, is this an extra dimensional space or is this another are we like leaving the bounds of the library? Like what's happening?
Oh,
here?
extra dimensional. So.
Oh yeah, you'll have to
So-
bring the mirror with you then. Sorry. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, is
Yeah,
he? Oh,
we
because
get
he
the
can't go
mirror.
too far from the mirror.
Yeah.
Can I also see if the fox and my bear can bond?
Sure.
Can they be friends?
So PB.
I forgot about
Can
the
I
bear.
Can I
Oh,
gently
Lord.
encourage my bear to befriend the fox?
Yeah, and as the bear approaches you, the scroll in your pocket like pops out and then takes form in your hands, and there's a hat.
I put the hat on the bear.
What do you want the hat to look like?
I want group input. What's the cutest hat that I can put on my bear?
A little
tiny
frosty
top
top
bowler.
hat.
It's a bowler. It's the
A
bowler.
bowler hat?
A bowler.
A bowler? Yeah, that would be good.
A bowler or a
bowler's
straw
pretty.
boater.
Yeah, you see?
I feel like it's a panda and it's a bowler in the same kind of like.
Wait, no, it's
Coloration.
Mars hat. It's just Mars
It's
hat.
Mars.
Okay, good. So
hat.
it
Yes.
looks like
Oh,
like
yeah, yeah.
a version of Mars hat, and you plop it down on PB, and PB just like, I like this hat.
You look like a little gentleman.
Wait, he called. Oh,
I feel
animal
like a
speech,
little
right?
gentleman. Oh,
Wait.
just to Marlowe.
Yeah, you
Okay.
just sounds like Mars growling at.
Can God give him the
I'm like,
ability
when-
to speak? Like,
I know,
out
when did we
loud, like,
Yes.
really?
Okay. Cool. Because I offered you. I offered you like a really awesome feeder magic item, and you wanted a hat for PB. So
No. Priorities, man. Priorities.
yeah, yeah. Okay, so you all hear PB say that out loud.
Oh, what the? I'm going to bed. This is too much for today.
But
Everyone, this is pocket bacon. Everyone,
Very
Hot bacon,
nice to
everyone.
meet you.
pocket bacon is delicious.
True words have never been spoken.
Silver kind of approaches,
Oh.
and like they kind of sniff each other for a second, and then Silver looks up at you. Oh, this is a real bear.
yes, this is a very real.
Oh, I
Yeah.
thought he might be your familiar. You're a real bear, aren't you? And PB goes, PB goes, what does it mean to be a real bear?
Oh shit.
No, I don't think he's
Yeah,
got.
given-
I don't think he's ready for existential crisis.
Given too many creatures.
He's
Existential
only been in existence for a couple of hours.
It's like Silver's like, oh, okay, cool. Let's just like pretend. I'll pretend to be a real fox too. Yep.
Oh man, we have such a ragtag group.
Yes. Okay. So you all.
I just want to keep collecting animals.
A little,
Yeah.
yeah, little retcon. Apparently, in the description, You have to say the words Pleasure Palace into the bead to activate
You do.
the spell.
Yes, you do. I put that in there.
That's so good.
You can
In the
never
description, so-
escape.
You can never
Abel's
escape,
Pleasure
and no
Palace.
one leaves.
Pleasure Palace. And then it opens.
I think it's so much weirder for you to whisper it like that.
Ew, yeah.
It's very weird.
The fucking Hotel California.
Yeah. Oh, it's the House of the Rising Sun. Let's go. All right. So you all walk into
Yes.
the Pleasure Palace. And what do they see, Abel?
Okay, so you walk into the shimmering doorway that will lead into a grand foyer. And as you step in through the entrance, you see polished marble floors, intricate tribal patterns adorned across the floors. The walls have beautiful tapestries, huge colossal tapestries that depict creatures, magical creatures from across Alyria and Nuevia, battle scenes of Nuevian heroes, even some tapestries of the ticket takers and their adventures from the first day of the Adventuring Guild being formed all the way up into the present. Let's see. There are different landscapes and things that we have visited on our travels. Along the walls, if you look up, you'll see doors that are the private chambers of each of the ticket takers, and they have an intricate, beautiful, lifelike bust of the individual carved into the door that the room belongs to. So you know exactly what room that you have. The odd thing is the doors are like floating halfway up, located halfway up along the wall with no stairs. There are floating platforms that will approach you and take you to your private quarters whenever you want. It's the magic and the whimsy of the Abel Pleasure Palace.
I love.
What do your servants look
I'm
like?
getting there.
Oh, sorry.
Yep. There's also several other chambers that lead off of the grand foyer. So to your left-hand side is a huge arching doorway that leads to the banquet hall where all of our meals will be served. It has a long mahogany table that stretches across the entire room of the banquet hall, and the table is already filled with different dishes from across Alyria and Nuevia, like exotic fruits and meats, all the meats, pocket bacon galore. There's beautiful chandeliers hanging from the ceilings, and then the entire space has like a gentle music being pumped in through the rooms, just to give a feeling of warmth and invitingness as you walk through the space. Straight ahead in the foyer is another grand arch that leads to a library, and these are all the books and things that Abel has read over his many years of studying. It's like the sanctuary of knowledge, ancient tomes and scrolls, blueprints for different like magical artifacts that Abel has studied or came across and built. Abel's private quarters is actually located in the library. So there's a door off to the right-hand side that leads to Abel's private room. The shelves are filled with books, dark wood shelves with intricate carvings that depict like different scientific or magical findings or discoveries or creations throughout time are carved into the bookshelves. Let's see. And then there's another room that is our council chamber. So this is where we will gather to do our strategic discussions, discuss our next plans for attack or battle. There's a large wooden table in the middle of the room with a map of Alyria, the sections that we know that are not covered by the veil, with holographic images that can be manipulated and moved around as we make our strategies or have our discussions. So we know where our allies or enemies are, where different key locations are going to be, so we can make plans and discuss our next moves. And there's also a spiritual chamber. So there's a place that if you decide that you want to go and worship your god, on one of the other large archways leads into the spiritual chamber, where there is a section in this large room with an altar dedicated to each individual god that the different ticket takers may worship, with burning incense at each altar. There are magical glowing sigils in the floor. It's just like a space where you can feel the spiritual or magical energy and connect with your god if you see fit to do so. And the servants, so all of your needs will be taken care of by the servants that attend to us here in Abel's Pleasure Palace. I don't like that. I don't like that.
We could call it the PP. No, that's worse.
That's
the Ticket Palace. So
The TP.
the TP.
That's somewhat more appropriate, really.
Yes. Yeah, we'll workshop it.
The ticket tower.
The ticket tower.
Ticket tower.
The ticket tower, but you still have to whisper Pleasure Palace into the marble.
Yes, you do. It's a parting gift from Kefkan.
A last fuck you to the. All right, the servants are actually glass constructs, so they are in the shape of humanoids, either humans or gnomes, elves, or all types of creatures that actually live in and around Alyria, but their bodies are clear glass. Inside is beautiful, intricate workings of gears and polished rods, just polished mechanical mechanisms that make the glass construct move. And then you see wisps of like purple shimmering arcane energy that flows in between the gears and the mechanics inside of the construct. But the face itself, the head area, is filled with that cloud of purple arcane energy that shimmers. And in that cloud, you see a friendly face. So it makes it easier for you to interact with the glass construct, and makes it more natural whenever you're asking it to, fetch you a tray of fruit from the kitchen in the back. So you're not just talking to a faceless entity.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of reminded of the clockwork from Doctor Who.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
definitely.
I don't watch Doctor Who, so I hope I didn't like.
They were cool looking.
No, you're cool.
They're super cool.
I'm gonna look it up.
Yeah.
I'll look it up. The clockwork.
I'll pull
I
it
do
up
want to
and-
watch.
I do want to watch Doctor Who more.
Ronnie, that goes so hard that you made all of that. That's so
That's
fucking
awesome.
cool.
I love that.
I was over here
Holy
like,
shit.
That.
No, that's amazing.
The Clockwork Doctor
That's
Who.
so cool.
Thanks, guys.
Really
Yeah,
impressive.
Get into Doctor Who now. Who's the new Doctor?
I got something that is not very nice looking. What's the Clockwork Droid?
No, that's not it.
These do not look nice.
Oh no, they look like
They look like V from Fidel.
they
V
look
from-
like
V from-
French
Yeah.
Yeah. Perverts.
French perverts. Yeah.
Is it called the Clockwork? Is it called something else? Rob, the Clockwork.
No. It's yeah. Well, that's with the masks on. When they took the mask off.
Oh, okay.
They
Okay, I was about to say the
Yeah.
mask.
I was like, these do
No,
not.
because they were designed to be creepy. Let me find it. Here we go.
Okay, I'd be terrified of these things. What are you talking about?
Oh, they do wear super creepy masks. Not that I'm going to steal this
Yeah.
for a
It's
later
like
game.
the.
Oh,
No.
okay. I see one without the mask. Yeah. Oh, that's cool. Yes, that's what you're going for, I think.
Let me see.
So there's a picture of
Yeah,
what
I
it
can't
is.
find it.
I
Oh
found
wait,
it.
I'm
Hold
not.
on.
Did you guys pull it up or something?
Yeah, I got it.
Thanks, Josh.
They look kind of like that.
Oh, wait, we
that's
did it
sick.
at the same time. Yeah.
Oh, that's sick. That's sick. I love that.
Yeah. Mhm. And then
Okay.
do each of the
I like
ticket
that.
takers get to design their own chamber? Or did you
Oh, yeah.
specially
As
design their
far-
chambers?
I didn't. You guys can describe how you want your living quarters to look. I didn't want to take that away from you guys. I think you.
Thank you. Me and Jace will build them in The Sims, and it will be great.
The Sims.
All right, Jace, we know what we're doing this week.
We got it.
All right. So you all come in, and there's food immediately prepared for you by the clockwork glass automatons. So if there's anything you'd like to eat, but you are all.
Can I try to wrangle my bear away from eating all of the pocket bacon immediately?
Yeah,
there's gonna be plenty of pocket bacon.
He's like,
need to try to train him.
That's
he
true.
said, I think that I can think.
Yeah, you can.
They're offering the food here.
Yes.
And I am to say no.
Right. Yes, you're very polite. Manners we've got down, but we need to share with our friends.
Is the amount of food here, is there a small amount, or is there more than enough?
Abel, can I cover my bear's ears? Abel, is this a place where I can summon infinite bacon for this bear?
You will have any meal that you desire, as much as you desire to eat. So,
okay.
It's up to you how you want to train him, though.
Don't tell him that. I think he's going to give himself a tummy ache. And I cover his ears, and I get a little plate, and I put a shit ton of bacon on it, and I give it to him.
Googling, like, can a bear die from sodium overdose?
That is the question.
It's like 3 bites and and it's gone, and he's like, it's been a really long day, and I'm pretty sure that this is, what is it called when it's your first day?
Your date of birth?
The date of birth.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's not really your birthday because that.
Let's put some on a cupcake. Can we get cupcakes?
Lovely.
Cupcakes are a clockwork appears
So we
with
put the bacon on the cupcakes.
most like beautifully designed cupcakes.
Stop.
Put the bacon on the cupcakes. Okay, I'm sorry. I put the bacon on the redacted and I give it to the bear.
He eats it entirely.
You're not supposed to eat the wrapper,
Happy
but that's
day
okay.
of birth.
Yep. Okay,
to
good.
me.
To
Yep.
you.
It's your
Happy
birthday, buddy.
to you.
And just like shivering in the corner. It's a terrible life, man. Why would you want to be born into it? He's like, you see the little like the gremlin.
Rorschach, like fucking Rorschach, fucking thing. Oh my god.
What gremlin? When did we pick up a gremlin?
You guys picked
We got
up
a mogwai.
a mogwai.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, pick up too many from me.
He's not allowed to eat anything.
Yeah,
it is definitely after
Probably
midnight.
after midnight.
Yeah, the constructs have been given specific instructions not to feed him.
They've been
after
instructed
midnight.
on Mogwai here.
Yes.
All right.
The same rules apply to Kaimana
Yes,
and the
that's true.
Kakoa.
Yeah. All right. Anything that you all would like to do in your night here other than go to your beds and sleep?
And level
I
up.
would like to do
If
something.
we don't
Okay,
sleep, what
yeah.
happens?
You gain a level
gain
of exhaustion,
exhaustion.
and so you'll have disadvantage on ability checks and saving throws.
And attack rolls? Or just
I
those?
don't know if it affects attack rolls.
Okay.
Hold on, I'll check.
Oh, look.
It would be bad.
Especially, I mean, because tomorrow is like your
Yeah.
we
oh no, it's just
might do a
ability
little fighting
checks.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
Oh. Interesting.
So yeah, so it would not be saving throws or attack rolls. So
Level
But-
2 is what it like. It's
yeah.
But given that you need to disarm some shit tomorrow.
Oh yeah, level
you
3
need
is
to
disadvantage on attack rolls and saving throws.
Oh, okay, okay. I knew eventually that happened.
Yes, and then you die eventually.
Yep.
Which is true in real life.
That's true. Yeah, and it's 7 days, so it should make sense.
Marlo, what were you saying?
All right. Anybody else doing anything in the tower the night
Me too.
before they go to sleep? So Jury, Marlo,
Yeah.
anybody else? Kakoa, Kaimana, you guys make your way to your sleep. Do you want to describe what your chambers would look like in the Magnificent Mansion?
Clam bed. Like one of those shell beds.
We just returned to the Goofy Movie Hotel.
Yeah, the Goofy Hotel.
Yeah, those really dated like beds with like the like water bed, and then it has like the clam on the back.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
that's adorable. Can I also say like I add the like a group sauna steam room bathhouse
absolutely
type situation somewhere in there?
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Kaimon is not awake for this. Like he's literally being dropped off in his room by someone else.
Like one of the clockworks, like
in your bedroom,
carry you to your chamber for you. Yeah.
So the door opens to Kaimana's room. It's literally a pool with like a real comfy looking raft in the middle of it. So he gets like the floating on water, like rock back and forth sensation.
The clockwork.
He's gonna have such a panic attack waking up.
Where the hell am I? Yeah. Okay.
It happened again.
Oh no. Recurring nightmare. Kakoa, you go to your chambers. What do they eat?
Just a sandy beach.
A sandy
with waves
beach.
gently lapping at the shore.
There's a weird knoll named Greg, like nearby. Hey, man. All right. Okay. Abel, are you staying awake? What are you doing with your evening?
I'll stay awake for a while because I want to work on those things I talked to you about.
Okay, so you go into the puzzle box and so that you don't take your exhaustion as you're working on those things. Go ahead and make a intelligence check for me.
Can I do something? Well, they're not really secret, but if I want to reference books outside of the Picket Tower, can I? Anansi can't talk. So can I do this? Can I use my artificer ability to infuse magic and speak what I want into like whatever, a little trinket, like a gem or something I have, or a scrap of metal, give it to a Nazi, and then he can, oh no, the mirror's in here with us.
Yeah.
Or whatever. Have the fox help us to find books referencing the constructs that I want to build that we talked about.
Yeah.
And the puzzle box itself, which holds the draconic spirit. I want to see if I can find any tomes or literature that can help me to recreate that when we discuss on how we can perhaps trap someone else's spirit inside of another item like the puzzle box is holding the draconic spirit.
Abel has read or has seen books that contain this type of information, and they all exist within the puzzle box itself because they are part of Prayer to Yakuzi. They're all part of Prayer to Yakuzi's private library.
You could have stopped me at any point.
Well, I didn't know if there was like a third thing where it was going to be like whatever, but those are books that Abel would have access to in the puzzle box because they're Prayer to Yakuzi's things.
Okay, so that's what I want to go into the puzzle box and work on making. And actually, I'm going to contact Yakuzi through our Sunbird homunculus connection and have him help me. And you wanted me to roll something, right? I forgot.
Just an intelligence check, yeah. All right. Jury, what are you doing with your evening?
Oh, I'm just doing ascending to Nairoy.
Okay, so
like,
do you go to your chamber first? What does your chamber look like as your
My chamber looks like it looks like the garden that's like outside of the house in Anarvir. It's like the garden, and then it has one of those like Pinteresty like swing beds, you know, like the trellis kind of style.
So baroque.
It's like fucking beautiful. Yeah, it's, you know what? This is, I get to be chill. This is, there's flowers fucking everywhere.
Yeah.
Little pond.
Perfect.
It's my childhood dream.
Okay. You descend to Nairoy.
Yeah. And I'm just like, hey, I'm just checking in. I'm trying to be better about checking in. This cost me a 5th level spell slot. Jesus Christ.
Oh, it's a 5th level.
Oh,
Yep. So
Why would
good
you
roll.
guilt him like that?
I didn't say that. I was just saying that to myself. I was saying it as I checked it off. My bad. Just checking in. Trying to be better. A lot of weird stuff happening, but maybe all right. We're getting towards the 3rd thing, and that's it. Should be okay. Boop, it goes off.
Yeah. You get it's very, very late at night. And you get
for sure.
because you guys attacked at night, so we are approaching like 3 or
Early morning
4
vibes.
3 like 5, 6 in the morning, like the sun is about to start rising. And you just kind of get like a oh, Jury, that's good to hear from you. I'm getting worried, but I've come to know that the ticket takers they handle
know.
business. So keep working. Contact if you have the ability. Stay safe. I love you.
What did he say at the end there? Jerry, like having a crisis, like staring up.
You caught
Turns
him
off the lights.
right when he woke up. So
Okay, turns off the lights. I'm gonna think about that for the next 24 hours.
There was. You said there was
Everybody
no.
went back to sleep, and then has the moment where his eyes would
Oh,
burst
shit.
and go wide. He didn't sleep
Yeah.
for the rest
Does
of
my
the night.
wild magic freak the fuck
I was
out?
about to ask.
So it is the final spell that you cast before your wild magic changes, and since it's level 5, I rolled the d4 and it was a 1. So you have to roll on the wild magic table.
Jesus Christ. What does that do to my psyche? How does this manifest? I got a 7. Oh, I hate
7.
rolling this low. It's so weird. I just die in this place. What a 7?
Can you roll 66 for me, please?
What do you mean
Oh,
66?
God.
What if I die here?
Number.
What if I die here? Did I cast Fireball centered on myself?
You cast fireball
Why did I-
centered on yourself.
Your brand new room.
Okay, guys, I want to explain something to you. I did 33 damage to myself, which is exactly how much health I have. So y'all hear an explosion, I'm sure. It literally is as much health as I have. I cannot physically explain
Can
this
I?
to you.
Can I?
Wait, did I use my
go get
relentless
Don't you get like 10
endurance? Hold
HP
on.
or something?
Let me see if I
when
did
you're
have
in
my
the thing?
relentless endurance.
Yeah, you have
already.
your temporary hit points from the Kaimana
No,
zone.
that already. That was with it. That was with my temp HP. It was the exact amount.
Oh, no.
Wait, how far is your room from the Cocoas?
So they're
I'm
from
gonna go get you.
from Abel's design, they're all like equal distant from each other.
I'm sure y'all hear a huge
I just hear this
Yep.
swoop and like the air suction.
You want to know what?
There's
I
like
think that's
smoke
the-
curling out from
cousin.
Jury's door.
I think that's the best damage I've rolled on a spell.
I think so.
And that makes me very mad.
Mar, what were you saying?
I'll go get my cousin.
Okay, so with that, it'll take at least a round for people to get to you, Jury. So make a death saving throw, please.
Death saving throw because my boyfriend told me he loved me.
It's the most appropriate outcome.
It's so good.
When the dice tell a story, man.
I fail one round, I'm dying. It
You're
was
dying,
too much
yeah.
for my heart to take.
And then Marlo and Kakoa storm into the chamber, and you see.
It's all like flowers on fire.
Yeah, there's just a 30-foot sphere around Jury where all of the flowers are dead.
Mhm.
I shove a potion in your mouth.
I like come to consciousness.
This is a very odd place to want to spend your time.
What did you do?
Wait.
Naira told me he loved me, and it freaked out.
You exploded?
I think my wild magic short circuited.
The wild
Oh,
I
The
mean,
wild
that-
magic, the wild
It's a very
magic
big step.
tripped after they cast the spell, right?
Yes.
So it would have arrived with the "I love
It
you."
would have.
Yeah, he said it, and then I was like, "Fuck!"
Boom.
It hit me with the same effect, perhaps.
Oh,
Wild magic. Maybe.
I just kind of pat you on the head, dust you off from all the soot, I imagine. Okay, there, you're fine.
Maybe a cold shower will help.
Don't look at me. I'll be okay. You can
Okay,
leave me
I'll
now that
leave
I'm
you-
not dying. I think I did die a
Yeah.
little bit, so it's fine.
I'll leave you to this. Okay.
All right.
Thank
good,
you.
Good luck, buddy. It's a
All
good,
right.
it's a good thing when someone loves you. I think.
I love you
Bye-bye.
all. Okay. Good night, everyone.
All right.
She falls into the hole.
Okay. Barlow, what are you doing after you saved Jury's life?
Thank you.
I go back to my room.
What does this look like?
Mars' room would look like it would be like a small like cabin kind of interior, just like nothing fancy, just like warm fireplace, candlelight. You can hear the ocean like in the distance. So it's cozy.
And I'll add just as because this feels good for Abel's senses, that because you guys are all creating this, is that the spell work that Abel put in it, the moment you open the door, it captures what's in your mind, and you just watch as like these clockwork arms and gears start sliding into place, these pieces, until the chamber looks like what you want it to look like.
That's really cool. So I go into bed and try to call my dad. I would like to call the dragon, please.
Okay. So do you go to sleep and you want to call him, or do you want to call him?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So you drift off into sleep, and a moment after your eyes close and you find yourself asleep, you find yourself in a very similar cabin space, where you've met him before, and he's sitting there offering you tea again, and he says, well, it's good to know that you can enter my dreams when you like. 2 times is, I think, a pattern. How are things going?
Cool. I trauma dump on Nagita.
Okay.
No, I would just like to just like word vomit out everything that we talked about and learned about in the library, and just be like, what the fuck do we do? Like, what do you have thoughts? Like,
yeah. So when you're done, he's like, well, the tea's gone cold.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. And he just holds it for a second, and you see steam beginning to rise from it again as he reheats it, and he does the same to yours. I'm going to give you an answer that I don't think that you'll much enjoy. We didn't do the job we were supposed to. And now it's our children's problem. I think I trust you and your generation to make a choice that we could not. We were so closely tied to the gods as our creators and parents that we couldn't fathom the idea of living in a world without them. I think you'll make the right choice when the time comes, either way.
Okay. So you won't be like, but like you'd be okay if all the gods were to die, right?
Well, as an entity that closely has a tie with the chaotic side of things, a world where there are no gods would be a world of equal chaos. A world where there's only one god depending on who that god may be, would be unequal. Would you trust the god that you made to do the right things when it's beyond your power to influence or control? I don't know.
I don't know. I've only ever worshipped a dead god.
The issue, I think, is that the gods that we know, or that I know, were not ever mortal in the sense that you are mortal. I think before worship, they perhaps were on the cosmic scale, not immortal beings. Would your friend, if they became a god, how would that change who they are, no longer being mortal? Because that is what makes you all so special. And what makes us so weak is that we're not. I don't know if I can provide the type of guidance that you need.
That's okay. I appreciate it.
I'm happy to talk to you about it and help you in your decision.
No. I think it's maybe a question for him when we get him back.
Yes. But I will be behind whatever choice you make. I just know that in an absence of power, there will be those that seek to fill the void.
They've been doing that for a while. I think they'll always do that.
One of the gifts of mortality, I think.
I don't know. Maybe it isn't such a bad thing to have a world without gods. I just don't know how ready everyone else would be to accept that.
I think what we might need to understand about people is that they will hold on to something long after it's already gone. We've been living in a world without gods for 250 years. I've been asleep, but from what you've told me, from what we've seen since we woke up, people still act like the world didn't change. Maybe it's time they woke up to the truth and accepted it. When you live in constant grief, where's your growth?
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. You've given me more to think about, but it has made all of the other things I have to think about feel a little less daunting.
Oh.
So
Don't forget to drink your tea before you leave.
I will drink my tea before I leave.
You have 15 additional temporary hit points.
Yeah.
Thanks, Nagina.
Just in case
Nagina
your
gave
wild
you-
magic nukes your ass when you're
Jesus.
trying to message somebody.
Nagina gave you therapy.
Yeah. While you all sleep, you're muted, Ronnie.
Also, Rob, where did you go?
My keyboard is suddenly decided to start typing in a lot of extra letters, and so I went to try to reconnect the wireless connection to see if that fixed it, and I managed to pull the USB cable on my camera and just it went
Nice.
flying into my stuffed squid.
Oh, no.
That's not a euphemism.
I saw you in the background and you were just like
Yeah.
furiously going like this on the keyboard. I was like, God, Rob can type so fast.
No. I was trying to
It's like you were a hacker in a movie. It was so funny.
I was trying to shake it loose. Basically, I'm sorry, but I have to run because
Oh, no,
the
you're fine.
fiance is pulling up.
We
so.
are wrapping up in just a second. Remember that you, so with that in mind, you all go to sleep, you all rest, you get a long rest, and you hit level 14, and we'll pick
Thank
up
you,
there
level
next
14.
week.
Thank you.
Lord,
Bye,
Jesus.
everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, Rob.
Bye.